It's a beautiful afternoon in Semple Stadium, Thurles. Temperatures averaging about 21, 22 degrees. It's going to be very warm in this field of dreams and legends. The reigning Munster champions welcome back Owen Kelly for his very first match of the season, and he starts at left corner forward. In the opposite corner is 18-year-old Noel McGrath, who'll be making his championship debut. Achieving the same milestone as centre-back Pádraig Maher, who will have the steadying influence of Newport's Conor O'Mahony to his left, who returns after illness. Full credit to Paddy Stapleton, who gets the number 2 jersey for the very first time in the championship team selection that is bubbling with potential and youthful exuberance. It's quite clear that Cork have taken the experienced option. Look at the half-back line, midfield and half-forward lines. Gardner, Curran and O'Halpine are 3 of the best ever. Tom Kenny and Jerry O'Connor are first-choice midfield partners for the Rebels since 2004, while the half-forwards consists of 1 O'Connor and 2 McCarthys. There are 2 newcomers, however, left corner back Conor O'Sullivan and full forward Saki O'Halpine, who, if he delivers on his potential, may well change the course of this game. Local rivalries lead to county rivalries, but surely there is nothing better than Cork and Tipperary in a Munster championship. They meet today for the 79th time. Who will play Clare on June 21st in a Munster semi-final? It's Cork and Tipperary before 35,000 people. Owen Kelly getting his first touch of the 2009 championship. He turns, he scores.
And Marty, what a point by Kelly, but there's wholesale changes in the Tipperary attack. Noel McGrath has gone to right half forward, Callan at centre forward and John O'Brien on the left.
Sean O'Halpine, don't know who's marking him, but Liam Sheedy won't be impressed. As O'Halpine again is dropping it in to younger brother Saki, the ball breaks. There's a chance here for Kieran Murphy. Knocked back fires Ben O'Connor. Little jink, little sidestep, short grip, point. 2 points for Owen Kelly at one end, 2 points for Ben O'Connor at the other, and the sides are level after almost 6 minutes of action. Sean O'Halpine pulls, didn't get any ground. Nicely picked up by Tom Kenny, loses under pressure to Shane McGrath. Picked up here by Noel McGrath, he's only 18, not 19 until Christmas. Here's Callanan, here's a point. Tipperary fans appreciate a good hurler, and none better than young Seamus Callanan from Drummond-Inch.
Yeah, and you can't buy that vision, Marty. You either have it or you haven't.
Cork go back into the attack. Here's Niall McCarthy hitting it perfectly. Carrick-Tuhelman, he was the RTE man of the match in the All-Ireland final 5 years ago. All-Star the same year, and that is a great effort. Again, Brendan Cummins feeding this wing over towards Lar Corbett, who is wearing 10 but playing in a left half forward position. Not a great pass for Woodlock, but he did well despite Ben O'Connor's attention. Knocked away by Tom Kenny. Ben O'Connor, it rebounds off several people. It's still Kenny, pulled on there by Seamus Callanan. Comes over this side and Tipperary have possession again. Striking it onto the left-hand side is Seamus Callanan. No wonder Cork were a little bit concerned about the 20-year-old. They're level in Semple for the 4th time. Wonderful strike here by the number 11.
Yeah, and he's having a quiet game, but 2 chances, 2 points. He's turned into a class player.
Scored the winning point in the All-Ireland minor final of 2006. John O'Brien, championship debutant against Limerick back in 2001. Here comes Noel McGrath. Fabulous point. This is a man you're going to hear a lot about. Not 19 until later on in the season, until December in fact. He hit that perfectly. Tom Kenny has Timmy McCarthy to his right, playing at left half forward, operating now at 10. It's a poor ball in for Paul Curran. It was aimed at O'Halpine. It's flung out for Conor O'Brien. Looking around, the rogue man, Isaki O'Halpine, has regained the possession, but it was picked off the ground. Cork fans don't quite agree. Maybe the action replay might prove the point. Let's see here, Michael.
He lifted it about 2 feet off the ground before he picked it.
Nothing wrong with that, Michael.
No, he picked the ball cleanly, yeah. I can't understand that one.
Free is taken, Ronan Kern is underneath it. Who has it? John O'Brien lays it off, fires McGrath. After scoring the point from the sideline, he adds one from play. 14th championship appearance today. Former St. Flannan star from Ennis is a player of rich potential. Towards Niall McCarthy, switching with himself and Timmy McCarthy. In towards the full forward line that needs more possession. This ball floated in very high. So high that is there a touch there. Brendan Cummins, there's a bit of a scramble. The referee is blowing now his whistle, and he's going in to have a word, I'm pretty sure, with his umpires as Brendan Cummins is on the ground. There's the slither. Let's see what happened. There's the ball breaking loose. There's Brendan Cummins. And it's a scramble. The ball comes loose. Is he going for the 20-metre line? Is he going to give a free? He's going to give a throw ball. Well picked up. This time it's a free for Cork. Pat Horgan working very hard. Brendan Cummins giving out instructions. The free going to be taken by Ben O'Connor. He scored 4 times in this Munster Championship quarter-final. He now has 5. Here's Lar Corbett looking around at options. Oh, that's a sweet strike of a slither. He's a class player, really. Fully recovered from the 2 injuries he picked up in the early stages, all accidental knocks, but this is a wonderful strike. Puck out, comes down for as Ben O'Connor. Support play provided by Tom Kenny, as always, steadying the ship. Cork need a point, and they have it. That's his first in this Munster quarter-final. 5 points now between the teams.
But a big reliance again, Marty, on Ben O'Connor today. You know, he's been brilliant for Cork there at right half forward, but outside of that, Timmy McCarthy, Niall McCarthy, Kieran Murphy and Pat Horgan, Isaki, they're not getting much ball, but they're struggling badly, whereas all the tip forwards are well in the game.
Great catch by Lar Corbett. Tipperary are rocking and rolling in this Munster quarter-final at the moment. Cork and Tipperary resume the battle, and a place against Clare in the Munster semi-final on June 21st is at stake. Here is Shane Murphy. Lays it off for Cadigan. Lar Corbett getting it inside. There's a chance here for Tipperary! Wonderful goal. This is a ball that should have been cleared. But when the ball came in to Callanan, there was no stopping it. Not even the great Dunlop. Conor O'Sullivan fires Gardner. Ball hops kindly into the path of Isaki O'Halpine. Isaki turns Paul Kern, lays it off. It's a good ball inside, there's a chance! Pat Horgan should have rattled the net. He aimed for the corner, but it skidded on the surface at the wrong side of the post. O'Halpine laid it off. Here comes Horgan, but the Glen Rovers man inches wide. Ben O'Connor stopped in his path. Fires Niall McCarthy, pushed out around midfield. McCarthy lobs it in towards Isaki. At the end of it there is Declan Fanning. Nipping inside, it's McCarthy, Brendan Cummins! Referee blows the whistle, the ball is in the net, but the goal will not count. And he's giving a penalty. Paddy Stapleton is going to be shown a yellow card here, I'm pretty sure. There it is. This is a crucial moment. Pat Horgan, he's just had a bad miss. He's just had two, in fact, but he's still given the responsibility of taking the penalty. It's a real test of mental strength. Here he goes, and Cummins. Brilliant save. Fabulous save by Brendan Cummins from Ballybacon Grange. Pat Horgan hit it well, but he hit it straight at Cummins, and Cummins just literally closed his eyes, but he was in the right place. Breaking ball, picked up by Gardner, captain of Cork. The Piercing man drives it in and sends it over the bar for a truly inspirational point. James Woodlock. Seamus Callanan is calling for it. Nice little jink, but then takes his eye off the ball, and here come Jerry O'Connor and Cork. Evo stick being used by the Newtown Shandrum man. Gives it to his twin brother. Goes for the point. It's hit high. It's hit over the bar. 9 points for Ben O'Connor. Cork are not beaten yet. Up goes Lar Corbett. So too Ronan Curran. Chance here for Pat Cronin perhaps to add to his tally. Do you remember Sean Walsh and Kerry back in the 70s and 80s? Super sub Pat Cronin. Must have looked at recent videos, because this is an impact sub. 2 great points by the Bishopstown star. Knocked away, far as Lar Corbett. Chance here for Benny Dunn. Hits it sweetly. Quality players always come to the surface. Cathal Naughton hasn't really got a touch since introduced. Consequently was blocked. Shane McGrath gives it out to Benny Dunn, going for his second point, and he's got it. Cathal Naughton with 3 Tipperary players around him. Here comes Owen Kelly. Knocked away. Ben O'Connor battling in his own half back line to try and gather possession. They're queuing up. One on the queue is Lar Corbett. Right man, right place. Great point. It's his 3rd point. And Tipperary rejoice in Semple Stadium. Brendan Cummins goes to the ground because Cork have been beaten. What did they say in the past? Once Cork are beaten and the hay is saved, well then it's a great day for Tipperary. Full-time score in Semple Stadium, Tipperary 119, Cork 19 points.
Obviously there was 10 minutes in the first half where the game probably slipped away from us. We went 4, 5, 6 points down, and that was where I think the game was won and lost really. We just weren't able to kill it off that time.
It's a tough physical game. We knew Cork were going to come at us. They needed to come, and I suppose we were expecting it, and there was one stage there in the match where things could have went either way, and we just pulled through in the end, so thank God.
Yeah, we were delighted with the win there at the end, but Cork really brought us there in the last 10 minutes, and to be honest, a small thing would have won it for them. I think as credit goes to the lads that we brought on there in the last 10 minutes, kind of changed the game for us, and just goes to show, it's all about a panel in Tipperary. There's 35 fellas on the panel, it's anyone on any given day.
Pete, a huge win for Tipperary. Will Cork consider themselves a bit unlucky, though?
They will. When you look back at the stats, Cork created more chances than Tipperary. That's 65% of the play for the game. Well, not 65, I think it was 62 or something like that. They played well, very well in the second half, and as Dennis Walsh said there was a period in the first half where they just let Tipperary do whatever they want, and it was really freeze that Tipperary conceded that kept Cork in at half-time. Came out in the second half. Tipperary, every one of their forwards except for Webster has scored in the first half. They disappeared in the second half after Hanlon got the goal. Cork played some excellent hurling for 20 minutes, created goal chances that if they took any of them, I think the result would have been different. They can take a lot away from it, Cork, in the sense that the forwards they brought on played well. This game will bring them on leaps and bounds, because Tipperary had the league final with Kilkenny a few weeks ago, and that stood to them. But I'd say the most confused manager will be the Tipperary manager tonight.
Why?
Because the performance they put in the first half, after getting the goal early in the second half, the game was there to be killed off. And it was a bit similar last year. They played in fits in starts. And in the second half, I think that the man scored 1-3 had to be replaced. They moved their half forward line into the full forward line, into a position where they weren't getting ball, and was the Cork half back line that was dominant.
All right, we'll look at that in a moment. But Paul, as a forward yourself, Cork had a lot of wides. And were they too reliant on Ben O'Connor for their scores? He got 11, I think.
That's very true. Cork had 13 wides. Ben scored 11 points. And Pat Cronin had a good goal chance. But apart from that, like, I mean, Niall McCarthy and Timmy McCarthy weren't really contributing in general play. You had Kieran Murphy kind of in around the goal, and Izaki was more of a threat in the air more so than anything else, but didn't really... His kind of lack of hurling over the last couple of years showed once or twice there when he had a great chance to put in, I think it was...
the hand pass.
Yeah, the hand pass just went astray. It was a good chance. I think Pat Horgan ended up giving Brendan Cummins a little clip, but Cork are very reliant on Ben O'Connor. All
right then. Well, you mentioned, Pete, the contrast between the first half and the second half. Now, maybe you were talking about the half-forward line, the tip half-forward line, the first half, Paul.
Yeah, the tip half-forward line were very good in the first half. They tore the Cork half-back line everywhere, particularly young McGrath and Seamus Cannon. You can see here, Noel McGrath.
And whatever was said at half-time, they changed their attitude. Here we see Larry Corbett getting on the ball. He's closed down quickly. You see Sean Ogue coming back again, finds O'Connor out, sets it back to Sean Ogue again, and sets up another attack down for Osahi. And we didn't see that in the first half. They were just destroyed. Larry Corbett catching ball above John Gardner's head. I haven't seen that now. Here we see Gardner again coming for a ball, takes it in the air, coming forward. And this half-back line of Cork is what their team was built on.
Yeah.
And it worked in conjunction with the two men in front of the midfield. And when the half-back line was winning the ball in the air, they were able to bring midfield into it. And in the first half, midfield was completely and totally out of it. There you see Sean Ogue again. And look at how quickly Curran reacts. In straight away for the breaking ball. In the first half, they weren't doing that. They weren't competing for the ball in the air. They weren't able to win the ball. Tipperary were dominant in the half-forward line. But in the second half, when they closed off the ball in the half-back line, they began to bring midfield into it. They ran at the Tipperary defence that was very, very stout in the first half, and they opened gaps throughout. And if Osahi had a bit more hurling in him, played in the air, his touch was a little bit off at times, and he gave the ball away a little too easily as well. But he was a big plus in the second half for Cork.
Yeah, and that touch will come with a month's training, of course. One of the big talking points, I'd imagine, Paul, for the Cork fans will be the penalty and the goal that didn't stand.
Yeah. Of course, it came at a stage where Cork were on the up. Like, I mean, here we are. This is actually Owen Kelly's incident. Like, I mean, we're talking about the advantage rule here.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Owen Kelly is fouled, but if he had the advantage, he was in for goal. And here's Timmy McCarthy, kind of a petty enough free on him from Paddy Stapleton. But in fairness to Barry Kelly, the whistle is gone before Timmy McCarthy actually throws the ball up to strike it, as you'll hear here. But, like, I mean, little kick there from Izaki, nice play, but Timmy McCarthy is in. Brendan Cummins comes out. There's the pull. Petty enough. There's the goal. I'm sure Cork people would prefer
did it go on? And should it be allowed finish the move and the ball to the net? What's your view on that?
Well, that's the thing. Like, you know, we're being maybe unfair to Barry Kelly because there is no advantage rule unless you think that an advantage is going to accrue.
Here's the football match earlier, which is a contrast. Ronan Clark gets pulled down here. Paddy McEnany didn't whistle though, and Clark gets up.
Oh, good finish, yeah. Well, that's the other side of it. Like, I mean, obviously, and in fairness to Mickey Hart there, he passed a comment earlier in saying that it was a common sense to referee, and he was on the wrong side of that, if you like. Whereas, like, I mean...
So what should have happened then?
Well, the day the aggressor won, the guy that fouled had the advantage because Owen Kelly was in on goal and Timmy McCarthy was in on goal. Cork will feel very aggrieved, but can you blame Barry about it either? Because there is no real instruction there that if there isn't, let the advantage go, come back and give the free.
At least he was consistent, Peter. He gave the two of them as frees, you know. He didn't give one goal and if Owen Kelly got in, at least he pulled the two of them back. So I suppose from that point of view...
So Cork fans who are saying, look, common sense, just give it 2 or 3 seconds. He's a yard from the goal.
Well, the guys that analyse the football, they were praising the referee, that, you know, for using his common sense and letting it run until the advantage was there. We're saying here, where is the rule standing at it? You know, Cork people would be happier today if they were let go on and score the goal. And even Owen Kelly, when he gets in on goal that close, he's going to put it away as well. So make up your mind, is there an advantage, is there not an advantage?
OK, Paul, clarification on something else as well.
Yeah.
The ball came into the tip square, Brendan Cummins. It ended up under Brendan Cummins.
Yeah, it's kind of another area, you know, that there's a bit of confusion with the rules. Like, I mean, a high ball comes in. This is 2 years ago, Waterford and Cork, obviously. Ball is struck in, bad miss. But Don Logue doesn't play the ball there. Like that's kind of more clear cut. Where you can see him here, lights on the ball, stops the opponent from playing the ball. Brian Gavin, the off referee, rightly gave a free that day.
Right.
Now here we are today. Pat Horgan goes for a point, high hanging ball, an awkward one for the full back. It's flicked to the ground. Kind of melee, Brendan Cummins is lying on. But when the ball is flicked out, Brendan actually plays the ball on the ground with his hand before Barry blows the whistle. So that's a free. And as Peter was saying earlier, the umpires...
It's the umpires that should make that call. Barry is out in the middle of the field. Hurling is a fast game. He can't cover the ground that quickly. But you have two umpires standing, 3 metres away from it, and none of them saw anything. Like, it was a clear foul, and it cost Cork a penalty.
It's a frustration, isn't it, when that happens?
Well, we have 7 officials on the field, and why don't they take more authority and take some of the responsibility away from the referee? Don't you know, saying that you saw nothing there, like, this is championship hurling, it's do or die. Like, maybe Cork will be saying we should be there. They've got to go into the round robin now, and anything could happen.
There was one other issue that might have upset some of the Cork fans, and that was the pick-up given against Asaki O'Halpine, more because of the consequence of it, Pete.
Yeah, well, this I think was a poor refereeing decision, because you could clearly see there how Halpin lifted the ball perfectly off the ground, had the ball in his hand. Referee had blown for a free, and as a result of the free, it goes down the field, and Tipperary get a point. Like, there's no foul there whatsoever. Now, maybe he was short-sighted and didn't see it, and we have the advantage of having replay. But it's a ball that Cork could have scored a point out, but instead it's Tipperary that gets one at the other end, and that's a 2-point swing.
Right. So it's the back door for Cork, but Paul, do you think they'll be buoyed up this week in training? Obviously they'll be gutted to have lost it, but do you think they can still make a significant impact on the championship?
Certainly. Like, I mean, they didn't have the advantage of maybe, Tipperary had a good league campaign, got to the final, had a hard match against Kilkenny. That was Cork's kind of first hard match as a squad since they kind of came out of the league. I think Dennis Welch will be happy. He'll know now that Pat Cronin will probably start the next day, that he made such an impact there. He might be disappointed a bit with Colin Naughton and Paddy O'Sullivan coming in, that they didn't really get in front of their man or win any ball, but I think going forward into the qualifiers, Cork, the first round of the qualifiers will be quite handy, I think, but from there on in, like, there'll be good games.
It might suit them as well, like, because they haven't had many hard games, and they haven't had a lot of collective training done together either, So coming back through the back door, the matches, with all due respect to everybody, won't be that difficult at the beginning, and they'll be progressively getting stronger and stronger and stronger.
And the younger lads can benefit from that experience.
They can, but I'm sure they're disappointed that they're not still in the Munster Championship this evening.
No doubt. OK, then, what about man of the match, Pete? Who are the contenders today?
Man of the match, I thought Owen Cadigan at full back had a good game for his first day there. I thought Shane McGrath also played very well and consistent for Tipperary. When some of them went missing in the second half, he was a player that consistently played throughout. And Ben O'Connor scoring 10 points, probably would have got man of the match, except for he had a few poor wides as well with that.
OK, so who did get the award then, Paul?
Well, in the end, Des, we went for the Cork full-back, Owen Cadigan, playing there. A bit surprised that we didn't see John Gardner maybe, or Sean Og at full-back. But in fairness, Owen is probably known more as a half-back than a full-back. But today he really showed like that he adapted well. And especially when Shane O'Neill went off, they kind of left more for him to do. He took on the responsibility. And you can see him there, like, he's a big man, athletic, strong, very pacey as well, and a very good hurler, which is extraordinary for a full-back. But after Diarmid leaving, it was a big job to fill. But well done, and congratulations to Owen. OK, well then, first of all, apologies to full-backs all over Ireland for that. But let's hear from Owen Cadigan. He's been talking to Claire McNamara.
The GAA Hurling Championship Man of the Match is Cork's Owen Cadigan. Owen, congratulations.
Thanks a lot. I suppose and being on the losing team doesn't really make up for it. We would have preferred to win, obviously, but it's one small consolation, but extremely disappointed again today.
You had some big shoes to step into, that of Diarmid O'Sullivan's, but you filled them admirably today.
Yeah, definitely. Diarmid was a fantastic player. He rang me yesterday, in fairness to him, passed on a few words of wisdom he could to me. And I just went down and gave our best shot there today, so just very disappointed with the results in general.
Despite the result though, Cork can't take good heart from that performance.
I suppose, yeah, we came up here with only one purpose, was to have a good performance and to come out with the win basically. But I suppose, yeah, we played well in patches again, but we know we have a lot of work to do again from now on and drive on again, I suppose.
OK, well done, Owen. Now, there were two other significant